What would you say if you knew your time was short? What wisdom would you leave behind if this was your last chance to speak to your child? This is the story of Tobit, a blind man, a faithful father, and a voice of eternal wisdom. In the quiet of his home, Tobit called for his son Tobias. Death was near, but his heart burned with one final mission: to speak truth, to bless, to warn, and to prepare the next generation. 1. Remain faithful to God, verse 5 to 6. Serve God all your life and never turn away from Him. Do what is right all the days of your life and do not walk in the ways of wickedness. Tobit stresses lifelong devotion to God, encouraging Tobias to live righteously and reject evil. 2. Honor and family, verse 1 to 4. My son, when I die, bury me properly. Honor your mother and do not forsake her all the days of her life. Do what is pleasing to her and do not grieve her. Remember, my son, that she faced many dangers for you while you were yet unborn. Honor your mother, Tobit said, for she carried you in her womb and faced many dangers for you. When she dies, bury her beside me. Let love and loyalty be your legacy. Before any riches, before any journey. Tobit teaches that love for family is the first form of righteousness. 3. The first and greatest command, verse 6 to 7. My son, be mindful of God all your days. Refuse to sin, do what is right, and your life will prosper. Success doesn't begin with skill, it begins with surrender. Obedience to God is the root of every lasting blessing. If you do what is true, your ways will prosper. Give alms from your possessions to all who live uprightly. He instructs his son to live according to God's commandments, promising that truth and righteousness lead to prosperity. 4. Give alms and help the poor, verse 7 to 11. Do not turn your face away from any poor person, and the face of God will not be turned away from you. Almsgiving is central to Tobit's teaching. He urges his son to give generously and cheerfully, especially to the poor and needy. He also promises that giving is like storing up treasure for the day of need. Charity delivers from death and covers sin like a shield. In a world chasing profit, Tobit teaches that generosity is true wealth. That when you give, you don't lose, you invest in eternity. 5. Practice justice and avoid sin, verse 12 to 13. Do not do to anyone what you yourself hate. Tobit tells Tobias to be just in all dealings, avoid sin, and treat others as he would like to be treated, a version of the golden rule. Do not withhold wages, be just in all things. What you hate, do not do to anyone. Integrity is silent, but it speaks the loudest in how we treat others. Tobit's wisdom echoes the golden rule before Christ spoke it aloud. 6. Choose a godly wife, verse 12. Take a wife from among your own people. Do not be proud. Remember the holy men, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They married within the faith, and God blessed their children. Tobit advises Tobias to marry within the faith, ensuring that his household remains godly and faithful to the traditions of their people. Love is holy, and choosing a godly partner isn't just romance, it's legacy. Tobit reminds us, righteousness attracts favor, not just beauty. 7. Respect workers and be honest, verse 14 to 15. Pay the wages of those who work for you without delay. Treat them as you would want to be treated. He encourages fairness, prompt payment, and ethical treatment of laborers, showing integrity in business and relationships. 8. Pray faithfully and walk humbly, verse 19 to 20. Bless the Lord your God in all things. Ask him to guide your ways. Bless the Lord always. Seek his will in everything. Do not rely on your own understanding, for it is the Lord who gives wisdom and brings down the proud. True strength is not in knowing everything, but in surrendering every plan to the one who sees the end from the beginning. Tobit reminds Tobias to seek God's guidance through prayer and to remain humble in success. 9. Trust God for a safe journey, verse 20 to 21. Do not be afraid, my son. We will do well if we fear God and flee from all sin. My son, remember my words. Do not fear our poverty, for you are rich if you fear God, hate sin, and do what pleases Him. The greatest inheritance is not gold, it is godliness. Tobit didn't just pass down money, he passed down meaning. He comforts his son with the assurance that God's protection follows those who fear Him and avoid sin. What legacy are you leaving? Are you planting wisdom that will outlive you? The world needs more fathers like Tobit, more sons like Tobias, more people who fear God, love truth, and give generously. Tobit's advice blends spiritual values, ethical behavior, and practical wisdom. It is a beautiful model of a father preparing his son for life's journey, urging him to live with honor, faith, and compassion. Tobit wasn't focused on money or status. His first concern was who his son would become. In a world obsessed with what you leave behind, Tobit shows us that wisdom, character, and spiritual truth are worth far more than silver or gold. You don't have to be rich to leave your children wealthy. You only have to be righteous. Honor your mother, Tobit says, not once but as a command. How many families are torn apart because honor was lost in the home? Tobit teaches that the way you treat your parents reflects how you treat God. To love the God you cannot see, begin by loving the mother you can. When Tobit tells his son to give alms, he's not just teaching generosity, he's teaching investment. In God's economy, what you give multiplies. What you hoard dies with you. Give like heaven is watching, because it is. Tobit's advice about choosing a godly wife reveals deep wisdom. Your partner will shape your path. Love is powerful, but faith makes love eternal. Marriage without God is like a house without a foundation. It may look beautiful, but it won't survive the storm. Tobit doesn't teach his son to pray only when things go wrong. He teaches him to pray before making decisions, while walking the path, and after the victory. Prayer isn't a backup plan, it's the power source. Don't wait for a storm to talk to God. Build the relationship before the rain falls. Let Tobit's words become your mirror. How are you living? What will you pass down? If today were your last conversation with your child, your friend, or even yourself, what truth would you leave behind? Let this chapter not just be a reading, but a revelation. Subscribe to this channel for more timeless wisdom from forgotten books of Scripture. Like, share, and let others hear the voice of the faithful before us, before it's too late, because sometimes the greatest stories come from the quietest fathers.